What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode, and in today's video we're taking a look at none other than DestroyLonely and the merch surrounding his album that came out a little bit earlier this year, If Looks Could Kill. Now, if you didn't know, this was his actual first studio debut album, so I thought this one would be a good one to take a look at. Now, in my opinion, the Opium label has been killing it this year, with both Ken Carson and of course Lone dropping some great albums. And if you agree, let me know in the comments. Now, both of them were supposed to join none other than Playboi Carti on his much-anticipated Antagonist tour, which at this point has been unfortunately canceled or pushed back or postponed, or I don't even know what the hell's going on with it, but I feel sorry for all of my Carti fans. And before I go any further, I wanted to give a special shout out to all of you guys that request in the comments what you guys would like to see. And I did recently cook up a video covering Ken Carson's Agreatchaos merch review, so if you guys want to see that, I'll go ahead and have that link in the description. And while you're here, you might as well go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. You dig? Now, like I mentioned earlier this year in May of 2023, Lone dropped his debut studio album, If Looks Could Kill, with about 25 or 26 tracks on its initial debut, depending on the version that you got. Right now, my favorite song probably is How You Feel, and let me know in the comments which one yours is. Now, when comparing Lone's website back in May of 2023 when the album dropped versus today, you'll notice that it looks quite similar and the same. And the first thing I wanted to point out is I like how stylized his actual logo is, and it definitely reminds me of some black or death metal, which we've seen stylistically and aesthetically common with Carti and the Opium label just in general. Now, you'll notice the mask that was featured in the thumbnail and a little bit later in this video. I'm putting two and two together, but it's actually on the cover, I guess, of the vinyl right here. Now, I do think that this is an awesome piece for any vinyl collector or just fan of DestroylOnely. And when it comes to shipping times, just to do some quick math here, it looks like this one is supposed to ship on June 16th and the initial album released on May 5th. So we're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks from the initial release date, which is about standard for most of these, if not all of these artist merch drops. Now, one thing I did want to point out for all of the international fans is unfortunately this release looks like it was for US customers only. And if there is a way for international fans to cop this, I'll go ahead and look it up a little bit later just so you guys can see. Now, in addition to that dope vinyl there, which had a little bit steep of a vinyl cost of $46, I also wanted to point out that there was the CD and the digital album that was available for download as well. Now, to kick off the rest of this actual merch drop, it looks like we're starting off with these high-priced hoodies right here. The first thing that stands out to me is just how much these are actually costing, and I get that the whole lifestyle and aesthetic that DestroylOnely and Ken Carson rap about is about designer and money. However, $150 seems pretty steep. I was hoping by looking at the actual product page we would get a little bit more justification, perhaps that they were printing on a specific type of tee or a blank. However, as you guys can see, we didn't really see that. And really the point I'm trying to make is I would just hate to spend close to $200 with shipping and tax to get something that was printed on Gildan quality or something that kind of fell apart after a couple of washes, if you get what I mean. Now, when it comes to my favorite actual piece from this merch drop, it's got to be this killer mask right here. And I'm going to need you guys in the comments to really let us know if you guys know the significance of this one right here, because this mask was actually featured on the graphic on the previous hoodie as well. Now, I was doing my research on Lone, and I did see that he does post a lot about gargoyles, so I'm assuming that's exactly what this mask is or what it's supposed to represent. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about, I found this photo from his Twitter right here, which features him holding a different type of mask. But again, I'm hoping that some of you DestroylOnely fans can let us know in the comments if it means anything in particular. Here he is in yet another post on his Twitter, rocking an actual gargoyle or goblin mask. So my dude definitely has a thing for this type of stuff, and there has to be some kind of connection. And now that I think about it, it's kind of funny to picture him dressed in all black in Balenciaga terrorizing Atlanta wearing one of those gargoyle masks. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out and that you'll notice is that there's not a whole lot of actual merch left for this collection. However, they all share a kind of similar color scheme and aesthetic, and one of which that I actually really like. Although I'm not super into the graphic there, I like the color scheme and I feel like all of the colors definitely complement each other. Again, I really like this direction that Opium and Playboi Carti have been taking over the last couple of years, where they blend the whole metal, rock, and death metal kind of aesthetic together, from the font to the aesthetics to the sound and everything else. Now, the coolest part of this actual merch collection was the fact that there were one of 200 autographed Destroy Lonely CDs that were available for the lucky fans to actually go ahead and purchase. Now, this may not be very important to you, but as a fan, I think that that's pretty dope to own. And I think if Lone actually signed it himself, it would be a cool little collector's item. A lot of times what ends up happening for these promotional pieces is the artist manager or other people from the team end up signing it, and they end up putting them up for sale just like this. Now, Lone, just like Ken Carson, has been evolving both musically, aesthetically, and with his fashion sense as well, and he's even been collabing with the likes of Alex, as well as other big brands as well. And I have to say, although I didn't really connect with this type of music when I first heard it, it's definitely grown on me, and I feel like in the absence of Carti actually dropping anything, that both Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson have definitely filled the void. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think about this video. I think that Destroy Lonely will continue to grow and become a rock star, and I'm super excited to see what happens with the rest of his career. As always, guys, thank you so much for cooking with the kitchen. Please stay safe out there. It's lit. Straight up. And peace. And don't forget to like and subscribe. You dig?